in from. We're getting ready to get this call started in just about 1 or 2 seconds here. So let us know again where you're checking in from in the chat. You are in for a treat. I am Tia Glenn. I'm your host on this evening, checking in from the great state of Virginia. I see South Korea. Welcome, Ebony. All right. Well, are we ready to get started? We're going to get our call started. We are at the bottom of the hour. Guys, I am super excited. Again, I'm Tia Glenn, Virginia, and I am a part of this awesome movement called the Extra Digit Movement. Y'all are in for a treat on tonight because we have a gift for you, the gift that keeps on giving. Welcome again. I have the distinct honor and privilege to introduce a rock star on tonight. He is my mentor. He is a great friend, and I'm telling you guys, anything that he is about to share. This gentleman graduated at the top of his class from the prestigious Duke University with not 1, but 2 degrees in electrical engineering and computer science. He is earning over 5 figures from home part-time, aside from his regular day job. He has an 800 plus credit score. He has saved over $235,000 in interest, and he is having a ton of fun exposing the secrets of the wealthy. But guys, let me tell you what, he is so humble, and he always takes the time to help others, and he is truly winning. This is someone that I know you do not want to miss anything that he has to say. So without further ado, I want to bring to the Zoom stage on tonight my mentor, my friend, Mr. Richard Hardon.
Oh my goodness. Man.
All right.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Richard Hardon.
Good evening. Happy, thankful Thursday, everybody. I'm so excited about the conversation we're about to have. So excited about the information that I'm about to unleash. But most importantly, I'm excited about the young lady that introduced me. Because Tia Glenn said all those phenomenal things about me, but what she did not tell you is that in her own right, aside from my presence on this webinar, she is one of the top financial minds on the East Coast. She has degrees in both accounting and marketing. It's that unique combination that made her the chief financial officer in her organization. And the best blessing is that she was just willing with that servant spirit to jump in and help everybody get the information that they need to succeed financially. So before I say anything about myself, y'all got to give it up for the CFO, Miss Tia Glenn. Y'all give it up one more time. Audio.
CFO.
Yes.
Tia.
Outstanding. Well, welcome everybody. I'm excited to get started with this evening's conversation, but let me do a disclosure up front. About a week ago, I returned from the Dominican Republic. We had a week of fun in the sun, and my voice did not choose to come back with me. Now, I share my travel schedule up front to let you know. I'm going to share some information with you, but I won't be with you very long. But it doesn't take a long time to understand some common sense things that we were not taught. Because all the things that Tia Glenn said about me are true. And it's the backside of a year's investment in my financial makeover. If you rewind the clock to a year, 2 years ago, there was nobody jumping on Zoom on Thursday night to hear anything I had to say about money because I was angry. Anybody ever been angry? I almost cussed a little bit, but I just met some of you, so I'm gonna keep my language calm. And what I was angry about was what I had not been taught. Meaning they told me the things to do, and obviously I did the things. I went to school, I got the grades, graduated from the top of my class in high school and in college, and got out into the world of money and realized that I was still undereducated. Write that in your notes. They don't teach this in school. I went to all my classes. I got both of the degrees, and in all of those classes, they did not teach me the things I wanted to know. Because how many of you were told, go to school, get good grades so you can go to college, get a good job with benefits, live happily ever after? What's happily ever after? That's a house, a spouse, 2.5 kids, and a dog named Spot. Did they teach you that? How many of you, after you finished your formal education, looked around and said they left something out of the curriculum? And that was me. I found myself in that place where I'd done everything they said to do, got out into the workplace and realized that I was working hard, but feeling like I wasn't making the kind of progress I wanted toward my goal because I wanted to be wealthy. How many of you wanted to be wealthy growing up? Yeah. Now, if you didn't, don't put your hands up because you don't want to admit that out loud. But here's the reality for me. In the education I got, I learned how to make more money. I was on that hustle track. Graduated from Duke, got out into the software space at the right place at the right time, and quickly went from my starting salary to a six-figure income. And you know what I found out, Edna? Granddaddy was right. He said, now the more you make, the more they take. How many of you ever heard that before?
Yes.
But the reality is it's even worse because what they didn't teach was who they were. So in my conversation today, I'm going to do three simple things. I'm going to provide some education. I'm going to share the secrets that weren't taught in school when it comes to money. Second, I'm going to provide an invitation to get out of that situation. Invitation to get out of the situation, meaning I don't know why you're here tonight. Some of you are probably on this line because you heard we're going to talk about saving some money, making some money, growing some money. Some of you probably on this line because you just don't want your friend to invite you anymore. But whatever reason you're here, and you're in the right place at the right time. Last thing I'm going to do, after giving you all the education and the invitation, I am going to take something away from you. I tell you up front, I'm going to take away the excuse that you didn't know how to shift your income and change your financial trajectory altogether. Is that fair? So let's jump in. First thing I ask, question that everybody should ask, Jason, is the more they make, the more you make, the more they take. Who are they? Let me tell you who they are. They are taxes, debt, big business, and inflation. Everybody familiar with these thieves?
Yes.
Now, here's the thing. Wait, am I sharing my screen with you guys? No, I'm only sharing with myself. Richard, lesson to self. First, you got to learn the basics. You got to share with your friends. All right, can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Now, here's the thing. All of us have heard of these things. All of us have experienced these things. All of us are daily penalized by these things, but none of us were taught to overcome them. Meaning, think about this. Taxes, if you have that good paying job, it's the highest bill in our houses. Meaning, if you think about this, earned income in America is the most taxed source of money, period, point blank. Up to one third of our income goes away off the top. But do you know that the average American enters a partnership with the government that they're not aware of that takes about 50% of the total money they ever make in their lives? What do you mean, Richard? Well, I mean, if they take a third off the top and every dollar you spend after that gets taxed, sales tax, luxury tax, ad valorem tax, property tax, vehicle tax, every time you make a dollar or spend a dollar, the government gets some of your money. Now, this is sinisterly the reason that most Americans end up in debt, because we buy into the American dream, don't we? They tell us you're supposed to get a house, a spouse, 2.5 kids and a dog, but oh, you don't have the $400,000 it takes to buy a house? Don't worry, get a mortgage. Oh, you don't have the $50,000 to get that new car? Don't worry about it. Get a car note. They actually found a cool way. You know, a note sounds like something your mama give you to let you get out of stuff in school, right? No. That note means you buy 2 or 3 cars for other people. Where does that other car go? Who knows? We just want it back in our house, yes?
Yes.
And if you got students, they need loans. If you got credit, you got cards. Debt takes a second 1/3 minimum of our income. So even if you started at that great six-figure income between debt and taxes, that 100 went down to 33. And this is the perfect time of year to realize how sinister the trap is, because most people are starting to wind down their year in celebration of, they call it the 12 days of Christmas. Christmas is Saturday. It's one day. But over the course of the next 12 days, the biggest spending days in corporate America happen every year for the past 29 years consecutively, meaning between the sales, Christmas Day, day after Christmas, New Year's Day, every 30 days, big businesses set up the calendar to remove that last 1/3 of our income through their programs, their discounts, and their sales. How many of you can agree that at the end of Christmas, in January, there's going to be a new holiday called New Year's? And then in February, there'll be Valentine's. And then in March, you'll have spring break. And then there's Easter. Then there's Mother's Day. Then there's Father's Day. There's a cycle of cash flow extraction for everybody in America. And the worst thing that's killing people right now, we call it the silent assassin, it's inflation. Write that in your notes. Inflation. Now, what inflation simply means is that in a normal year, the inflation rate for most of our lives has been about 4%, meaning the cost of goods and services go up every year, but most people don't have the ability to increase their income every year. That means the value of our dollars is going down. And all you have to do in your mind is look at something that you liked as a child and ask yourself how much it costs right now. Like, I'm from Atlanta, y'all. And you know, in Atlanta, we love Coca-Cola. And I remember at Barlow's Barbershop, you could get a bottle of Coca-Cola, glass bottle of Coca-Cola for 25 cents. And if you return the bottle, they give you 5 cents. So your cost in a Coke was 20 cents. Put in the chat for me, how much does a Coke cost right now? $1, $2, $3, 10 times the cost for the same product. Now, did the cost of producing a Coke go up? No. Business said we can charge more because people are making more. Challenge is, where inflation happens every year because of the pandemic, the jobless shifts, and the uncertainty in the marketplace, for the first time in our lives, we're experiencing something called hyperinflation. Everybody say hyper. Now, you can already tell I'm excited. But what happens when inflation gets excited? Oh, it starts to cut deeply. Now the same $100 that you used to walk out the grocery store with a buggy for, you got a bag. That same toilet paper that used to cost $12 costs $20. And it's happening more and more frequently. But here's what I want you to know. We did not get on Zoom at 9:30 on Thursday to talk about challenges. We're here to talk about solutions. Who's ready to solve a problem that you have and most of the people that you know breathing air on the planet Earth have? Excellent. So let's talk about it. So here, how do we solve it? How do we solve for it? What do we do? First thing I want you to understand is that in our movement, the extra digit movement, we have perfected a 6-figure playbook where we help people get 3 things down and 3 things up. Matter of fact, let me make sure that you understand. It's only 3 things that you got to do. 3 things down. Everybody do this right here. 3 down, 3 things up. Now, the 3 things that we got to take down to get your cash flow up, it's not your income that's the problem. It's your cash flow. You got to get your taxes down, your debts down, and your bills down. How many of you would feel a lot better about the money you make if all 3 of those things were down? Not only would you feel better, your level of stress would go down. Now, at the same time, the 3 things that we systematically increase are your credit score, your income, and most importantly, your cash flow. Listen to me clear. The most important lesson I ever learned in the conversation that changed it all for me was the difference between cash flow and income. Meaning, Tia, for all those years, I thought my income was a problem. I needed to make more money, make more money, make more money. I needed another degree. I needed another certification. I needed another job. I needed another business. How many of you went through that cycle of trying to make more money, but found yourself feeling like a hamster just running on that wheel, not moving anything? It turns out that I was measuring the wrong thing. See, income is a measure of amount. It's how many dollars. Cash flow is measured by the same unit as wealth is. Cash flow is a measure of time. Meaning if you got $1 million in income, but you got $2 million in bill, your cash flow is 1/2. You run half a period short. You still check behind the check, broke on a higher broke level. But if you make only $80,000 a year, but your bills are $40,000, well, 8/4 reduces to 2/1. Your money runs twice as long as your need. Therefore, it can do more things for you. So what we have to do is increase and expand our cash flow. If you're with me, type in the chat, expand my cash flow. Well, how do we do it? Now, I'm glad you asked. Simple. By the way, I did say earlier, I was going to invite you to something. We have an exclusive invitation-only platform with a team of financial experts that systematically attack the things that are attacking your wallet. Put that down. Our experts attack who's attacking you. You need defense, right? We saved our members $10 million a month in taxes before we met you. 12,000 of our members have had their credit scores increase 50 to 150 points or more. We saved 29,000 years. Time is more important than money, of the interest from people's debt sentences, while at the same time saving those same members $1 million a month in bills. And here's the best blessing. Those members have generated an extra $10.2 million in investment income. That's money-making money. Making sense? And it all starts with something simple. Now, I'm gonna get the elephant out of the Zoom up front before I introduce some special people to you. But here's what I want you to put in your notes. $80 unleashes the miracle. It lets you in on the best club in the money game today. Right now, our Financial Edge membership, write that down, membership equals $79.97. Membership, $80 a month to be a part of this club. What does this club allow us to do? It allows us to lower our taxes. It allows us to destroy our debts. It allows us to shred our bills, raise our scores, grow our assets, and increase our income. Now, if you were a member of a club, is there any club that does anything better for you than that? Like, I'm a member of one of the best fraternities in the world. But the reality is the brother and sisterhood that we have built through this membership is a game changer, because it's putting people in a place where they're first able to do the most important thing it comes to your money is getting it back. Put that in your notes. Your income, the money that you make at your job, is a source of wealth for somebody. Your decision at the end of this conversation will decide who it will be. Meaning our team of experts, the very first thing that we do is a personalized analysis to see what we can do to enhance your tax situation. For many people, according to the IRS, 80% of people in the country have the document that determines how big a tax hit they take every week filled out incorrectly. And if you do, it's not your fault. Meaning, how many of you were trained on tax strategy going through school? How many of you learned tax strategy by filling in the ones and zeros just like they asked and hoping that there's a refund at the end for all the money that they take out when you go to work? The second thing that they do is they help us understand the importance of a business as a part of your portfolio if you have a great paying job. And then the third thing they do is teach you how to use that money for our debt elimination strategy to put you in a position to be debt-free in a record period of time. And I'll give my personal case example as I prepare some of these special people. Matter of fact, if you have a testimony about how the membership has impacted your life, first in the area of savings money, type me in the chat, but also make sure your camera's on. So when I go to spotlight you, we can see you. Does that make sense? Well, for me, imagine this. I submitted the documents they asked, my 2 pay stubs, my previous year's tax returns, and I was able to get an increase in pay from my job of $636 per check. That's $1,272 per pay period. Edna, let me ask you a question. If you found out somebody was hiding a comma from you in your check and taking the money to their bank account, would you ask for it back?
Yes.
Would you be excited to get it?
Yes.
Yes,
That's how I
sir.
felt. I was so
Absolutely.
excited just to have my money back. But I didn't go crazy with the money. I listened to the experts and applied it to their debt elimination system and the debt-free lifestyle. Would you imagine? They first showed me that according to my creditor's plan, we were going to be paying for the things we had borrowed for the next 24 years of our lives. They showed me how to take the money I was already making and go from 24 years in debt down to 6 years in debt. And even more powerfully, they showed me how to save $278,000 in interest payments for $79 a month. And then the best blessing, they said, if you take the same money you're paying for these debts, you'll accumulate an additional $1 million over the next 12 years. How many of you understand? I was just blown away by what my team of experts did in just these 2 strategies. But wait, there's more things that they did for us. They also put us together with a team of credit restoration experts, not credit repair, restoration. People listen to this conversation, Ms. Gwen, and say, well, I got good credit already. I had good credit, but they made it pristine. I went from the low 7s to an 824, which allowed me to lower my insurance payments on my house and my car, the mortgage payment on this house, and the rental property, to where just on saving money between taxes, debts, the increase in credit, and lowering my bills, where we were able to increase our cash flow into our home by an additional $6,000 per month. Let me look at you in the eyeballs when I say this. Because see, I know it's a whole lot of people that are going to tell you a whole lot of things. Everybody out here trying to get you into this, trying to get you to crypto this and Forex that, and get your money back before you try to turn it into something you don't understand. Does that make sense? Now, here's the blessing. I'm telling you my story, but it's not just me. There are members of this movement all over the country that are taking advantage of this Financial Edge membership. And type me in the chat if you'd like to share what the experts have been able to do for you. Again, make sure your camera's on so we can see you. But more importantly, so people know it's not just me. All right, who's in? Tell me your name. Okay, we got Tia Glenn. Tia, let me put you on spotlight right here. And are you able to unmute yourself? Okay, there you go.
I am. Thank you, Richard. You're doing an amazing job breaking down this awesome information. Thank you so much. Like you, I had a credit score in the mid 700s for years, and it just wasn't really moving. But after uploading my credit reports to the experts, they came up with a plan and a strategy showing me how to move from the mid 700s to I'm projected to be at 823 in 2022. So I am now at 8 in the 780s, knocking on the door to 800. So I am super excited about that. And so I've been able to increase my score by almost 40 points from where I started off. So I am super excited about that. And even more, my husband and I bought a home at the beginning of COVID. And again, working with the experts, we were able to refinance that home within the same year and lock in a 2.25% interest rate for the life of the loan. And instead of paying that loan back over 30 years, the experts have a plan for us to pay it off in 12. But you already know we're going to throw more towards that because we want to pay that home off in 6. So I am super excited about what the experts have been able to do. And thank you so much for allowing me to share.
Oh, my pleasure, my pleasure, my pleasure. Everybody give it up one more time for Tia Glenn. And then who else did I see over there in the chat? Did I see Stephanie Stewart? Let me see if I can DJ this thing. There she is. Bam. All right, Stephanie, tell us about what the experts were able to do for you. And then I'll brag about you being another expert when we get to the other portion.
Gosh, you're doing an amazing job. Thank you so much. Like, man, when I tell you, when I was able to come into Make Wealth Real, I knew I was in a rut, but I didn't want to admit that I was in a rut. Like, I felt like I knew what I was doing and couldn't nobody tell me nothing. But it was literally just being able to give my stuff to some other experts and be like, look, I did everything that I could do. If you can do something better, then cool. And the crazy thing is they done did something better. They were able to up my credit score up into the 700s. This lowered my car insurance. This lowered my home insurance. This has been having me have job offers out the wazoo. Like, they're literally asking for me. Like, I get credit card things all the time. Do you want to refinance? Do you want to do whatever? And I'm just like, okay, I like 700. Let me see what else I can do. In addition to this, I'm a realtor. So I was able to, we have an app called Huller. And this was able to really break down all of my expenses, all of my deductions, and really run my business for me, especially because I have access to those CPAs that are able to help. So at being a multiple business owner, it's been able just really to be able to help so that when the IRS comes to say, oh, what are you doing? I can say, this is what I'm doing. This is how I'm profitable. And this is how I can continue to invest and look at, show myself as somebody who knows what I'm doing versus somebody who doesn't.
Man, and that's major. By the way, put that in your notes. If you know somebody that's a business owner, that's good at their craft, that's good at doing business, you know what they're probably not good at? Being an accountant. I know before Hardon, this was me right here. Right. Bag of receipts, knowing that tax deductions are possible, but not knowing how to organize a process. Now you end up with one of those situations where it automates you getting the money that you deserve. Everybody give it up one more time for Stephanie and Tia. But by the way, these are not the only testimonies. They're just the ones that we have time for. So do this favor for me. If you have something that the experts have done for you, credit score increase, debt elimination, bills that have been shredded, just put it in the chat so that the people that are jumping on for the first time get an understanding. This is how serious this is. We literally have a Facebook group where if you go to MWR Financial Testimonials, we just bragged it. People get up testifying about bills that have been paid, about credit that's been improved, enhanced, and in the best shape of its life. We've got people right now earning an additional income just based on being able to do things right here. And you see over here on the right, scrolling by, $200 a month pay raise, $2,400 a year. That's fire right there, Mr. Electric Jason. Check this out, 644 to a 701 in credit score. Keep reading, but understand that this is just the first part of what we do. Because it is one of those things when it comes to money that the first thing that we have to do is gather our resources back to us. Everybody say, give me that back. Anybody ever borrow something from you, or even worse, take something from you and act like it's theirs? It's not yours. It's mine. I want it back. But now that we have that thing back, we got to put it to work. And the second part of our membership may be even more exciting to me because of what it allowed me to do different than what I had been taught. Meaning, I don't know about you, but our MWR growth portfolio, that passport, the passive income portfolio, where we get unlimited access to licensed wealth experts. So now that you've got your money back, do something better than park it in a bank. Well, let me not say. Let me come look at y'all in your eyeballs, as Daddy would say. How many of you had somebody in your life where they said the best advice they could give you financially? Now, Ricky, when you get that good job, You need to get you a checking account and a savings account and put some of that money over there in your 401k. Now y'all know exactly what my Auntie Nell sounds like. But in our family, Auntie Nell was the best steward of money that we knew. It just turns out that's a strategy for a different period of life. Because here's my reality. As I put the money into the banks, my money started running backwards. What do you mean, Richard? Well, the money I put in the bank, they paid me little to no interest. But at the same time, they took my money and loaned it to other people as car loans, mortgages, credit cards, etc. How many of you have money in a bank that makes those loans? Now, second question, anybody ever been denied a loan from a money where your paycheck goes directly? I'll wait. it's that reality. But here's what we have the opportunity to do with MWR Financial is to become our own bank, meaning through a vehicle called a private reserve account, or PRA, you have the opportunity to become your own bank. And in this vehicle, imagine the profile of a private reserve account. It grows when the market grows, so that as you put the money in the bank, say you put 50,000 in your private reserve account. Private reserve account's been growing double digits. When the market goes up, your account goes up. When the market drops, your account stays level. And when the market goes up, your money goes up again. There is a no loss provision. But even more powerful to you, I think, is just that idea that now we can have banking behavior. Meaning, do you know what the business of a bank is? It's to loan money. They do it legally through a process called arbitrage. Now we can do arbitrage on our own money. That 50,000 that we put into the private reserve account, unlike our 401k, where if anybody ever had, well, let me ask again. Has anybody ever had to tap into your 401k before you were retirement age? Did they tax you like that's not your own money, that you haven't been saving your whole life? With the private reserve account, you get to borrow tax-free from yourself, have the money grow like it's all still in the account. All 50,000 is still accumulating these 12, 14, and 16% returns. And at the same time, you have the liquid available cash to do other things, like invest in the other vehicles in our wealth accumulation passive portfolio. Think about this. One of the things that excites me about how we behave in MWR is we understand that the greatest. Okay, yes. We understand that the greatest investment on earth is still earth. Why? Because people need a place to live and God hadn't made any more dirt. Now, don't anybody jump on me and say I said that God can't. I just said he hadn't done it lately. But we get to invest in real estate in two unique ways, not available to me before I learned about MWR. First for me was this idea of land banking, meaning we get the opportunity to invest in land in the path of growth. How many of you would love to be the person that invested in the real estate just across the street from that gentleman? By the way, that's Warren Buffett in the bottom corner there. His energy efficient bus company is right here in this area called Antelope Valley, Green Energy Valley, California. We made an investment placement in land specifically to get the deed at wholesale so that we be in position to sell at retail when the timing is right. And the appraised values on these properties. Imagine this now, Tia, being able to invest in real estate without toilets or tenants. And that's that right there. That'll bless you if you really understand what it did. But it also meant that this investment class, we took some underperforming investments that we had that have been in the 401k making about 2%, and it made 43% in a year. Come on now. And then that doesn't even get into our new ability. We right now are able to buy, sell, flip, and invest in real estate with experts to do the work but to minimize the headache for us. Imagine this. How many of you understand there's 30 million people in America renting properties right now? 30 million. And recent surveys say that up to 70% of those people, so what is 70% of 30 million? Oh, you don't have to figure it out. I already did it for you. It's 21 million people need some place to stay. That's their own place. If you solve a big enough problem for the right number of people, your payment is guaranteed. That's what we do. Our financial makeover helps people get their numbers in shape, but our Fire Your Landlord program is going to change the world, because now we partner those people that didn't get the education with experts to get their house in order. We partner those people with professional, certified realtors like Stephanie Stewart to be in a position to understand the process and qualify for a home for the first time in their lives. And then the blessing is those of us that have been put in a position to contribute as investors are able to invest in bringing that property to the person so that they're able to buy a house. We're able to profit with no risk of loss, no trips to Home Depot, and not needing Google Translate on your phone to understand what the person working on your property is saying. Some of you have flipped a house before, you know what I'm talking about. All of those things are a part of the membership. Now, before I transition into the income increase portion of our conversation, are there any questions about how our membership helps you save money? Like if you knew that you could help me get a raise from my job, you could help Tia increase her credit score, and you could help Stephanie become debt-free, would you tell us about it? Type in the chat, say, I would, I do it. I just want to make sure that I'm talking to the right people, because it's one of those things. But membership has its privileges, but by giving people access to this membership, this compensation plan pays in an unreasonable way. How does it pay? Well, imagine this. If your job was to help people get their financial houses in order and you shared the information with people, the company starts to pay and you get results like these. I won't go through all the individual heroes in our organization, but you think about folks like Don and Ruthie, who are now just on the edge of a $500,000 shift in personal net worth since joining the movement, meaning their credit scores up, loans paid off, bought his mama a car, and then both owners of different investment vehicles. And then you got Brandon. Brandon's already a traditional business owner, but saw the value of adding a home-based business to his barbershop because of the ability to write off portions of lifestyle. Put that in your notes. You're going to pay some bills anyway. You might as well be able to write off the things that you're going to live. It doesn't hurt that they also pay for his vehicle or mortgage. And then you got Kim Whitfield. Oh, by the way, congratulations, Kim. We're gonna get a step show going. It's gonna be Panhandle in MWR. But Kim Whitfield, imagine the change in circumstances. At the time that she found out about this company, she was experiencing $18,000 pay cut in her home. Anybody ever have your pay cut and make it feel like you're short of breath, like but using the make money portion of what we do, she's able to add $100 minimum daily guaranteed income. That $36,000 extra that she made in passive residual non-wage income made that $18,000 not hurt nearly as bad. And at the same time, she was able to buy a house. How many people do you know that got a pay cut from their job but bought a house that year? Man, I'm talking about we are winning. Kwana Sims, people say that, I don't know if I can talk like you. You know what? You don't have to talk like me. Shoot, I can't talk like me. My voice isn't all the way here yet. But imagine a shy person like Kwana, who's still one of the top income earners in the history of this company, getting the results, sharing the information, and moving people to the next level. As a matter of fact, look at the person that invited you to our conversation tonight, if their camera's even on. Matter of fact, if their camera is not on, Send them a text message or a direct message in the chat. Say, why are you acting funny? Turn your camera off. Oh, you having a bad hair day? I am too. I'm having a no hair day. It's no hair. No. But here's the blessing in it. The reality is, whether they're on camera or not, they've done the hardest part of what we do, is simply exposing people to information they didn't know and educating them on the process. And as we do this, more and more, imagine what it'll be like when your picture's on the screen, when we're talking about your financial makeover, talking about where you were, but because of a decision you made, where you could be somebody like Christy Howard, where going from bartender to Bachelorette of the Year, right now she generates no less than a 5-figure income per month in just 8 months in this company. Paid off the credit cards, credit score went up. She actually designed a $1 million residual ring earner's ring. And it keeps going. Couples are doing this together. Oh, there's somebody that looks like this. You know, before the pandemic, I used to wear suits. Man, listen, people say, Richard, you know, I'm excited about this education you got, the degrees, all this. You know, the most exciting thing for me was this was the first time in my life I was able to do something that made me more money, but at the same time helped me keep the IRS from robbing me. We're able to save money, make money, and grow money. And the blessing is this is available to you. Now, people are asking at this point, how does this work? Investment simple. It's $228 one time, $119 a month. And I put $228 in perspective, especially in this time of year. Meaning, if you think about the gifts that you bought people this year, how many of you have ever bought a gift for your child and then watch that same child go off and joyfully play with the box? Come on now, it ain't just me. But we got $228 mistakes in our closet. So sometimes I feel a little bit hesitant, Edna, when I call $228 an investment, because people spend $228 all the time. $228 on drinks, $228 at the club, $228 on an outfit that's in your closet that wasn't in style when you got it and is not coming back. Less than $4 a day is what it costs to become a franchise owner in our movement. The $119 a month, and I do like to break this down so that people know, the $228 includes the membership. So that for that $228, $79 of it is your membership. $100 initiates your franchise, and $40 does your ongoing operation so that your entire overhead is in that $1 amount. And you know the best thing about doing it right now, if you think this is even a good idea, you can write off in January. I don't think that hurt me. Whatever you're planning to do, I know what people are planning to do next year, Gwen. What are they getting ready to do? They're going to get out of debt. They're going to make more money. They're going to lose weight. You know, 2 out of the 3 things people are already wishing, hoping, praying, and lying about doing next year, we can help them start doing right now. And then you get the benefits of being a business owner. Put this in your notes. It's not how much money you make in America, it's how you make your money. But with a business, you get to get paid first, write off your lifestyle, and get taxed on what's left. And it's not me making it up. I know somebody saying, I'm gonna go research it. Go research the tax code. W-2 says you get taxed first. 1099 says you get taxed last. Capital gain says you get taxed when you decide to. Because think about this. Let's just break it down to simple stuff. How many of you eat food? Have internet, lights, travel? These are lifestyle things. These are the things that went in my 58,000. I want you to understand. I was going to pay these bills anyway. Are you going to pay these bills anyway? If you got a business, you've got business expenses you can write off. If you don't, you got bills. They're going to happen anyway, but now, because you do it, because you have a business, because you share your success with people, you can make a daily guaranteed pay anywhere between $5 a day and $1,000 a day. just for 4 yeses. Everybody hold up 4 fingers like this, for 4 yeses. 4 yeses, meaning for the sake of this conversation, all you got to do is find 3 crazy people like me, Tia Glenn, and James Mays. The 3 of us say, yes, we want to do business with you. And one person says, I just want the experts to help me. And that pays you $5 a day. Who's excited about making $5 a day after day, guaranteed no matter what? Now, not everybody's hand went up right away. Danny's not necessarily excited about my $5 a day as I thought he might be. No, don't put your hand up now. Here's the reality. $5 a day is more than the $4 overhead of this business. We teach people how to operate sustainable, profitable business that's self-funded. For all the things that people are about to call you about, I'm gonna let you know they about to call you. Ask them how to self-fund it. How many yeses do I need to self-fund my business? If they say, next, run. Save yourself the frustration and aggravation. They don't know, therefore they can't teach. You with me? But now, once you've made $5 a day, has anybody, if you've done a thing, can you teach that thing? You teach me, Tia, and James how to make $5 a day, you go to $20 a day. And then from there to 30 to 50 to 100. Once you get to $100 a day, I'm gonna tell you one thing. It might not retire you, but it will allow you to tell some people to shut up. Richard, that's mean. You shouldn't be telling people to shut up. Well, yes, you should. Some conversations need to end in 2021. What conversations need to end? It's those conversations about how this couldn't happen. It isn't possible because we have people doing it every day, $20 a day, 200, 500, no limit on how much money you can make. And it's not mystical people that you've never heard of. It's people you see every day. I was able to share this conversation with one of my best friends in the world. Blessing in his life was he was trying to figure out how to escape the pandemic in the classroom. It's 2 pandemics in the classroom, by the way. Number 1 was COVID, but number 2 was the onslaught of ongoing ignorance of people making decisions about what needed to be taught that had never been in the room. 86 days into his journey, he had outpaced the amount of money he was making in the classroom, and it continues to grow. I won't bore you with talking about how much money we make doing what we do. I'll just point out the next item is that the company starts to take bills off your hand as you help people do what they need to do. Like with our luxury vehicle bonus, I don't think that people really understand the power of this residual component of our comp plan, Stephanie. I mean, realistically, if we sent you an extra $500 a month, would it take care of your car note? If we bump that up to $1,250 because you got excited and helped some more people, with the $1,250 help with the car and the mortgage?
Yep.
And at $3,000 a month. Now remember, this is in addition to the daily guaranteed minimum. That's the least we can make. $3,000 a month. Does it cover the mortgage, the car note, and something else?
Mm-hmm.
And now, as we're making money, it starts to generate a cycle where cash flows toward us instead of away from us. So many folks getting this done, like Dana Turnquest and Ethan Clemens. You got the man, Junior Kier Spates. You know, I didn't know what Junior looked like until I got in this business. I heard him on the radio. He makes millions of people laugh. But you know what's not funny? Is being able to cash a check without having to buy another car for things that you already did, helping people get to where they want to go. Got my brother Chuck Hardon right here flexing with the $1,250, along with Quanta Sims. And then you got folks like Chrissy Howard and Charles. Man, y'all got to meet these people. At $3,000 a month, Charles bought the car, Chrissy put in investments, and there's no limit on that. And then the last category, our presidential bonus, anywhere from $500 to $100,000 a month. I want you to visualize something with me. Just visualize. What would it be like to close your eyes and on the 10th of the month, wake up to an extra 6 figures in your account? Now, some people can't dream that big. But they put those numbers here on purpose because my good friend Les Brown, he says that most people stop dreaming at age 25. We are winning and winning at the next level, and we're just getting started. But here's the question. And again, people like you and me, I'm showing these faces to say, these are people that I know, that I watch go out and build this with all of the tools included in that little $40 a month that covers their business center, with all the tools to know where we are, where we're headed, who we need to help, and who we need to bless. The main question you got to ask yourself at this point is, if someone knows how to do a thing and they teach me that thing, can I teach it to somebody else? Here's the blessing. You don't have to rely on the person that introduced you to their Zoom. They might have gotten started yesterday, but we're all plugged into the source. We happen to have the blessing of working with the top money earner in the history of this company in a step-by-step system where we teach you step for step, word for word, what to say, what to send, and what to do after they say that. There's so many movements within the movement. I'm so excited about ladies like Stephanie Stewart, Tia Glenn, Kim Whitfield that are part of this First Ladies of Finance, where as we build the village, we put ourselves in a position where we're able to actually help the millennials. Has anybody ever said to yourself, I wish I knew then what I know now? Imagine putting people in position where they grow up understanding, learning, and using the rules of the wealthy so that we come into a new position. And then last but not least, I will make sure to pass on this invitation. My mentor, Brian Bean, I remember vividly, we had a conversation 2 years ago. We sat down and I got up never again to be the same. Brian Bean, for those of you that don't know, is one of the biggest success stories in the home-based business industry. He's been endorsed by Les Brown, Lisa Nichols. He's given me the keys to his training library. Now, here's the thing. Brian's trained, at this point, millions of people in the industry on his systems and frameworks. He's put me in a position where if you decide that you want to make next year your best year based on something that you do this year, not just this year, today, he's got a course called The Time Value of Money. Now, here's something most people don't know. They say that time is money. How many of you ever heard time is money? Put in the chat if you ever heard time is money. Time is money. Time is money. Matter of fact, don't put that in the chat. Put in the chat, time is not money. Time is time. And money is money. And time is more valuable than money. You can spend your whole life, which is measured by that dash between the beginning and the end, trying to make some money, but you can never extend the end past the point where it ends, no matter how much money you make. Brian has a translation algorithm for us to increase the amount of money we make with the time and skills that we have. Is normally a $2,000 value, but if you are ready, really ready to make next year your best year yet, make sure to get together with the person that introduced you to this conversation and let them know I'm a number one. He'll give you access to that specific training, the value of time versus money, as a part, as a welcoming gift, as the best Christmas present you ever gave yourself for taking action on this conversation. Now, by the way, I'm done. I'm past my time. I'm over my time, and my voice is getting ready to go. So as I leave, I just let you know that your job here is simple. I gave you the education. We've extended the invitation. Now, the decision is yours. You decide you're a number 2 or number 1. If I'm a number 2, I just want to expand my cash flow. I want the experts to get me my money back and show me some ways to grow that money. And if you're number 1, I want it all. I want the cash flow. I want the 12 different ways to get paid from things that I don't even know are happening residually with leverage. $228 one time. Whichever number you send, they'll send you a text message and set up a conversation with you, them, and one of the experts on our team to make sure to guide your process into the best financial year of your life. Because what's today? It's December 23rd, 2021. 8 days from now, They'll be dropping the ball, counting down to the end of this year. 2 days from now, there'll be many gifts under the tree. 2 hours after those gifts will be open, they'll start to go down in value. This is the one gift that you can give yourself, your family, and the legacy that comes after you that will keep on giving month after month, year after year. You just have to decide that you're worthy. If you're worthy and you're worth it, say I'm ready. Send that number 1 to the person that invited you, and then make sure. Enjoy your time with your family. Enjoy your gifts on Christmas, and then the day after Christmas, December 26th, we're back to work. Sunday, December 26th, we are counting down to the end of the year, understanding that we're in business for ourselves, but not by ourselves. And no one's done until we're all done. You're worthy. You're worth it. It's your time. Merry Christmas, family.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to
Thank you so
everyone.
much.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Be safe.
Greetings, everyone.
Amazing presentation.
Holidays.
Let's
get it.
Merry Christmas.
Good to Hardon.
Let's go,
Good
Adrienne.
job, Richard.